The Summit County Volunteer Forest Monitoring Project Fellows Cohort video.
Hi, I'm Howard Hallman. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the Summit County Volunteer Forest Monitoring Project, a community-based effort engaging citizen scientists to monitor evolving forest conditions over a period of decades. To date, we have established 204 permanent forest monitoring plots throughout Summit County. We have over 50 volunteers. Our plots are randomly located and logged and on undisturbed U.S. Forest Service lands, many times near monitors' homes, in multiple forest types, aspects, and elevations.
In 2014, the Center for Collaborative Conservation granted Howard Hallman a fellowship in support of the Summit County Volunteer Forest Monitoring Project, also known as Backyard Monitoring. Project goals
Involve community members in the management of our natural landscape, provide credible data for U.S. Forest Service forest managers and academic researchers, foster more resilient future forest conditions through scientific research. History. The Forest Health Task Force was created about 10 years ago to bring together diverse stakeholders to address local forest issues from a public perspective. Our emphasis is on collaboration to sustain our high country forest ecosystem.
Straight Creek Monitoring Project.
Forest Monitoring Project came about in 2012 as a way to monitor regeneration in the Straight Creek forest restoration logging area.
Program evolution.
Forest monitoring in Straight Creek, it was time in partnership with the Friends of Dillon Ranger District to expand the project countywide.
So we formed a partnership with the Friends of the Dillon Ranger District.
Hi, my name is Doozy Martin. I'm the program manager for the Friends of the Dillon Ranger District. So I've been a part of Friends of the Dillon Ranger District for just over a year now. Last summer I was in the project coordinator position and was recently promoted to the program manager position. We are this year celebrating our 10th year, and we're a nonprofit, 501c3 that works very closely with the Forest Service. Basically just doing projects and running programs on Forest Service land. So we do a ranger patrol program, we do a ski with the ranger in the winter, we do a lot of trail maintenance projects, and then we work with the Forest Health Task Force on the forest monitoring program. Most of our funding comes through different variety of grant sources, and we have a new executive director in Mike Connolly who's done a great job following up on these leads from past years and finding new grant sources that really make up a large base of our funding. In addition to that, we run numerous fundraisers throughout the year to get $1,000 here, $1,000 there to help us carry on our programs over the summer months. And then also private donations and memberships to our organization are hugely vital to what we call unrestricted funds that we're able to use for administrative costs and that sort of thing. So we're constantly seeking new ways to fund our programs and continuing to develop the ones that we already have in place.
Truly a community-driven organization and a great, excellent local representation of collaboration. We in the Forest Health Task Force truly appreciate and have benefited so much from the partnership with the Friends of the Dillon Ranger District and the ability that Friends has shown to organize and reach out for volunteers. Without volunteers, we won't have any monitoring program. Thanks, Dizzy. We are measuring for regeneration, where logging has occurred. Regeneration, where there has been a recent wildfire. Regeneration in blowdown zones. Natural forest evolution and regeneration in areas left untreated. Species diversity. Structural diversity. Fuel loading. Growing conditions. Historical forest conditions. Project objectives. Perform forest condition measurements that are meaningful for forest managers. Design a data collection and management system that is easy to use. Build our monitoring team to be self-sustaining. Learn, share knowledge, have fun. Develop procedures to research historical pre-settlement forest conditions. Monitor for noxious weeds and invasive species. Document changing forest conditions through on-the-ground observations. Inform professional forest managers and researchers of our findings. Inform the general public of our findings.
The team is a diverse group of enthusiastic community volunteers.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for being here today. Wanted to ask you a little bit about your background. If you could kind of fill us in on who you are and where you came from.
I'm a chemical engineer by training. I came to Colorado to go to graduate school in chemical engineering at the University of Colorado and left that to join the Environmental Protection Agency in a career that spanned the energy business and the environment. One of the things that I've found by being in Summit County, because it's such a wonderful environment, we have hundreds of people just like me that have strong professional backgrounds and lots to offer, and we have a government that is limited in what they could do. So by having our nonprofits help collect data, help do all kinds of things, make Summit County a much better place for everyone.
Good. Jim, I know that you chose your plot in the wilderness. Plots in the wilderness. I hiked up with you on one occasion, and that was a rigorous hike to get there. Why did you do that?
We are learning a lot about what this pine beetle epidemic's legacy is going to be. One of the issues that I think we need to understand better is what kind of management works best. In the urban interface, we've done a lot of cutting in different varieties for a lot of reasons, mostly fire related, and it is very important that we monitor and understand what happens. But I think we need some data to compare that to. What happens if there isn't any management? We have the same downed trees and the same dead tree problem in the wilderness. And by having some of our tracks collect data in an area that's not managed, that we can then compare to data that we collect in tracks that were managed, will give us a lot better understanding of our forests and how to deal with them.
Thanks, Jim, and thanks for all your hard work. We really appreciate your efforts and your monitoring. Thanks.
My name's Brad Peel. I'm a forest hydrologist by education, training. I've been working professionally on the wildfire issue and its impacts on watersheds for a number of years, and I think it's really complex. It's more complex than what we think, and I think the thing that the Forest Health Task Force has been doing that's really positive is trying to get the agencies and the citizens talking on the same page and trying to understand each other. It's not just about what the community wants necessarily, and it's not necessarily what a wildfire expert wants. It's something that I think we all can agree works in our forests and for the benefit of our community.
Implementation. 4 independent programs were established, each with unique purpose and protocol. We are monitoring forest conditions countywide. We are researching historical forest conditions. We are documenting locations of significant noxious weeds and invasive species outbreaks. We continue collecting regeneration data in the Straight Creek watershed, and we monitor forest regeneration in the Straight Creek watershed. This is a typical monitoring plot.
Here we are today at Mary's plot number 1 near Red Tail Ranch. We're going to be replacing the stake, or actually the flagging on the stake, and taking measurements.
We replace the flagging at each plot every year.
Remind me, that string is just about 11.8 feet, is that correct? Long.
Right.
And that way we're able to identify all of the trees, the seedlings and the saplings within the plot.
Right, and then I'm gonna write.
Boy, this is a healthy tree. It's kind of hard to figure this out. 1, 2, and in the whorls. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That makes good sense. If it was 9 years old last year, it's 10 years old this year.
Yes.
Looks healthy. No sign of disease. Good.
Good.
We also take other measurements.
We can take this moisture meter and see if we can find a good spot for that. Doesn't go in completely here.
You can just about tell where I've been pulling. Look at all the new ones.
Yeah, so we're going to have some counting to
it's
do.
gonna be-
70 for
Yes.
the air temperature, and we got about 12 on the moisture
Okay.
meter. Sometimes this is not an exact science. So we're here today with Susan Alderman and Susan Mason. We're really in your backyard.
Just wonderful to be in the forest and have a chance to look at it in detail. Usually I'm walking through it and you just look at it with a different eye, so I think it's great.
And I guess the question will be whether it comes back as a more diverse forest. A typical plot center in undisturbed forest environment. Dead trees, live trees, regeneration, and very lush undergrowth. Is this a healthy forest?
This is one of the questions we're trying to answer.
Yeah, well, I've been working professionally on the wildfire issue and its impacts on watersheds for a number of years, and I think it's really complex. It's more complex than what we think. And
Accomplishments.
We have established 204 permanent forest monitoring plots throughout Summit County. We have over 50 volunteers. Our emphasis is on collaboration to sustain our high country forest ecosystem.